What's good, Cosmo Collective? In today's reading, we'll be exploring if you've already met your future spouse or long-term partner. This video is for those who are wondering, obviously, if they've already met the one, their future spouse, their long-term partner. This, of course, is a timeless reading, so whenever you're finding the reading, I hope it's resonated for you, because that means it's meant for you, whether it be day or night. And of course, this is a collective reading, so go ahead and use your discernment. If you feel like a message is not for you, that's okay. Don't worry about it. Just focus on the messages that resonate for you and do away with what else doesn't. If there's a message that doesn't resonate for you, it might be for someone else. And always remember, these readings are for entertainment purposes only. If you want to go ahead and skip all the way to the reading, the timestamps are down below. And if not, let's get into the pile selection. Pile 1. If you felt called to the green border in the thumbnail or the Two of Cups, this is your pile. Pile 2, if you felt called to the card with the orange border in the thumbnail or the Empress card, this is your pile. Pile 3, if you felt called to the card with the purple border in the thumbnail or the Two of Swords, this is your pile. Now that you've selected your cards, whenever you're ready, I'll go and meet you at your reading. Pile 1, if you chose the Two of Cups or the card with the green border in the thumbnail, this is your reading. Let's get into, have you already met your future spouse or long-term partner? Messages for Pile 1, Spirit. Messages for Pile 1, please, Spirit. Have they already met their future spouse or long-term partner? Has Pile 1 already met their future spouse or long-term partner? Queen of Pentacles. Has Pile 1... Ooh, that one really flew out. Knight of Cups. Beautiful. It seems like something is incoming. Stability is incoming. Has Pile 1 already met their future spouse or partner, Spirit? Messages for Pile 1, please. Messages for Pile 1, please. Ooh. Those two really wanted to come out. We have the Eight of Swords and the Queen of Swords combined. Has Pile 1 already met their future spouse or long-term partner? Knight of Wands. So we have a lot of energy coming towards you, Pile 1, already. Has Pile 1 already met their future spouse or long-term partner? Not going to take all of those, Spirit. Eight of Cups. Temperance. Spirit. Has Pile 1 already met their future spouse or long-term partner? Page of Swords. And one more card, please, Spirit. Has Pile 1 already met their future spouse or long-term partner? Or the one. Okay, both of those really wanted to come out. We have the, oh, three of those wanted to come out. We have the Knight of Pentacles, the Knight of Swords, and the Death card. So we have all four knights on the board. Surprising. And for the bottom of the deck, we have the Six of Cups. Upright, it says, embrace your inner child, new friends or rekindled relationships, children or childhood. Pile 1, I just want to sit with this energy for a bit and soak it up to really see what message is coming through here for you, because I think Spirit has some very unique thoughts with regards to the question, have you already met your future spouse or long-term partner or the one? Because we have all four knights on the board here. This is probably the first time I've ever gotten a reading with all four of the knights. So we have a little bit of everything in both the material world and the spiritual realm coming your way. And that's a bit fascinating to me. So immediately, Pal One, I'm getting you represented as the Queen of Pentacles, and that doesn't have to align with your gender identity. We're not necessarily talking about like feminine energy as if that's you. Actually, I said that wrong. We're not saying that the feminine energy is because you're a woman or you identify as female. It's just about the energy. So I'm getting that where you are right now is that you're in your Queen of Pentacles energy. You're someone who values stability and maturity, emotional maturity, and maybe you also have some element of financial independence, or like a love of nice things and the ability to acquire them. Maybe you don't necessarily identify as someone who's financially independent yet. You know, you could be someone who's never had to be financially independent before, and so that may not resonate with you right now, but maybe you come from a family that has financial means, or you just have a certain disposition and demeanor that suggests like you're very secure in your material world. You're very stable in your material world. And also, I'm getting someone who may be very generous or like gift giving is your love language, like actually giving gifts and material things, making material comforts for others might be a huge identifying characteristic for you. It's a lot of energy here for you, Pal One. Like, I feel called to say it's confusing, but that's not quite the word I'm looking for because tarot is fairly easy to decode once you know how to read it. And I'm also not looking for like confusing or chaos. First things first, I think the Temperance card in the middle of the reading is exactly what I'm trying to articulate. Whatever phase of your life you're in with regards to having met your future spouse or being on the path to meeting your future spouse or long-term partner, it's going to require a lot of integration of lots of different energies. I see so much coming towards you, Pal One, with these knights, that it's a lot to balance. It's not quite like the Two of Pentacles where we're juggling things per se, but it's a lot to integrate, a lot of lessons. So off of my first impressions, Pal One, I'm going to say no, you have not met your future spouse or long-term partner just yet, but I will say it is coming in. It is on the horizon. How do I know that? Because our second card for you, Queen of Pentacles, is the Knight of Cups, which means love, emotions are coming in. And then the final card in this spread is the Death card, which is transformation, which tells me I think you're probably on the verge of meeting and discovering your future spouse. You're just kind of in those final stages of integrating a lot of lessons that you've learned over time. For instance, one of the primary lessons I think you've learned is to have really high standards and to walk away from both self-limiting beliefs and self-limiting behaviors. Oh, I said self-limiting behaviors. Interesting. What I thought I said was self-limiting beliefs and self-sabotaging behaviors. So maybe there's also been some behaviors you've exhibited that just kept you small. I see someone who's much wiser now. We've gone from this Queen of Pentacles into this Queen of Swords. This is someone who's wiser, who's more boundaried, who's not like, you're not waiting for someone to save you, which is so interesting because when I saw all these knights on the board, I said, is this like a sort of damsel in distress thing, Spirit? Like, is this person waiting to be saved? Why are all these knights showing up? But oh, Spirit just gave me such a word. You're not waiting for people to save you, Paul One. You're waiting for someone to serve you. And what I mean by that is not someone who's going to wait on you hand and foot, but you're looking for a partnership that's going to serve your life. You're looking for someone who is going to add to your life. And also with these knights, you're also looking for loyalty. Loyalty is a very big thing for you. And so I think a lot of opportunities are coming your way. Maybe you feel like you're in a phase of your life where you're more attractive than ever, but you're also more discerning than ever. How do I know that? Because we have that Knight of Wands coming in, this passionate, desire-full energy coming in. And what are you doing? Your Eight of Cups. You're walking away from things that are just simply passionate and fleeting and not going to go anywhere. You're focused on integrating these lessons. You're being analytical and a little bit more perceptive, a little bit more judgmental, not in a negative way, but you're really analyzing the options around you and waiting for the right person to come in. You're not just willing to accept anyone just because you want to be married or you want to be settled down or you want to start your life. You feel like you have a very abundant life. I mean, with this Queen of Pentacles, this queen is surrounded by everything she could ever want. Lush environments, food, we even see spirit present, beautiful clothing, freedom. So it's not like it's not like the person who's coming in is going to offer that to you. They're not offering you a kingdom. You're represented with queen energy twice here. They're not offering you a kingdom. You come with that. So I also get this imagery of an actual female monarch, like an actual queen, and people who come to court trying to court her. You know, like people are coming in constantly trying to appeal to the queen, and she's sort of not, I'm not saying you're sticking your nose up at people, but she's a little bit more, you know, reserved and refined in what she gives her attention to. Maybe when she was younger, she would have gone for a Knight of Wands, but now it's very clear you're looking for something loyal, something long lasting, something that's going to add to your kingdom, and also something that that isn't lying about what it is. A lot of people come to royalty, right? And they feel this pressure to pose or to posture. They feel this pressure to be something and be seen in a certain way, but they really can't hold that image up. So you're kind of looking through your options now. You're trying to see through what BS is presenting itself to you. And eventually, slowly, what you're looking for is coming in, and it's coming in with clear communication, and it's going to come in once you've totally transformed. Not transformed as in this is a long process. If I had to put timing or a concept of timing to this kind of transformation, this isn't still being the caterpillar going into the chrysalis. This is the phase where the caterpillar has already been in the chrysalis for a long time, and right before they hatch and become a butterfly, after they integrate all of those final little things that differentiate the caterpillar from being a caterpillar and being a butterfly, and then eventually they crack out of that cocoon and you see those beautiful wings come out. So it is something that's incoming. It is basically coming in as slowly as you are doing your final integrations, and only you'll know what kind of timing that is for you. Like if you're someone who knows to have more boundaries and be more discerning, and also to maintain your higher standards, but you're still in a phase where you're maintaining 90% higher standards, but you have like 10% of wiggle room that you give people to bring you lower standards. Then you have 10% remaining. That's your gap. 10% until you transform and integrate that. So have you already met your future spouse? I don't see that so far. I'm saying no, maybe you met someone who you thought was your future spouse, but they really were just a passionate encounter. It could have even been a long-term relationship, and you decided to walk away from that connection. And so you met the potential of your future spouse and long-term partner, but they weren't really it. Let's take some more tarot cards to unveil more of the story. Tell me one about pile one. Have they already met their future spouse? Tell me more about pile one. My goodness, the Magician. Tell me more about whether pile one has met their future spouse and what's coming in for them with regards to their future spouse. Two of Cups. So it's saying already, yeah, it really is something that's imminent for you. You haven't met them yet, but you're manifesting, actively calling in through your vibration, your Two of Cups, your future spouse or long-term partner. So it is in alignment for you. You just have to keep aligning with it. And they're saying the way to keep aligning with it is to stand in that Queen of Pentacles and really enjoy like the material abundance and the ease that you feel, because your feeling of ease is what's going to attract this future partner and this future spouse and long-term connection, and it's your way of connecting energy with them. So they're feeling easeful. You need to also match that energy, and then slowly but surely it will magnetize. Clarify the Magician upright, please, Spirit. Has pile one met their future spouse? Four of Swords. See, the Four of Swords clarifying the Magician really confirms what I just said about matching the energy of easefulness and effortlessness, because the Four of Swords is a card all about resting. They're actually telling you, you can rest now from trying to manifest this person because you've manifested it. Act as if it's already imminent. It's already on the horizon. All you have to do is effortlessly flow to it. And the only way to effortlessly flow to your future spouse and future partner is simply by existing in this Queen of Pentacles space, enjoying your life, enjoying the kingdom you've cultivated around yourself, and easing into the connection. And it will reveal itself. We saw those four knights around you. The true connection will reveal itself. Spirit will make it obvious to you. Clarify the Two of Cups upright, please, Spirit. Has pile one met their future spouse? Page of Swords. Okay, so we've seen the Page of Swords twice now. Spirit is saying to be discerning and be very perceptive about who's the real Two of Cups, your true future spouse, and who is sort of making believe, like we talked about earlier, who's just coming to the court and faking for appearances when they're really not about that life, okay? Also, Spirit is saying, I did see it a couple times in the last cards, and I was only going to say it if the confirmation comes in. This future spouse, future long-term partner of yours might be someone who is a little bit above your stature or your standing. They're showing the Page of Swords again, so that's telling me that the future spouse may come in looking like a Page of Swords. And the Page of Swords is a very interesting card because it is an analytical, sort of blunt energy. It could be someone who works in the tech industry. It could be someone who's on the autism spectrum. I'm getting that this person is a little bit better with like computers than they are with people, but they're going to be lovely with you. They're going to build this Two of Cups with you, and that may be outside of your industry. That may be outside of your typical type. I'm also getting someone who has glasses. I keep seeing a visual of someone like pushing their glasses in. This doesn't mean that they aren't handsome or attractive to you. I don't want you to think that. It's just what I'm visually seeing. And so they just may be outside of the scope of or the sphere that you typically live in. The other thing that I'm getting is that they're probably outside of the sphere that you typically live in the sense that you operate a lot in the material world, and you're someone who nurtures the material world. You nurture and turn a house into a home. They might not be like adept at that in any sense of the word. They might be someone who's very pragmatic and practical, and they value the practicality of things, whereas you value the aesthetic beauty of certain things. So that might cause a little bit of like an opposites attract or a butting of head sort of thing with you guys on occasion, but it's no big deal because you'll balance each other out. Clarify the Queen of Pentacles upright, please, Spirit. Has Pile 1 already met their future spouse? What would you like them to know? The Empress. Beautiful. So the Empress clarifying the Queen of Pentacles is such a beautiful resonant card. And it tells me, oh, Spirit said to take this one too. The Devil. Okay. Going back to what I was saying about the Empress, it's a very beautiful and resonant card because it says that this connection is something that is going to actually allow you to step even further into that feminine energy. And what I mean by that is it's going to be very stable for your nervous system, and it's going to allow you to have softness no matter how you identify your gender. You may not have had a connection in the past that allowed you to just feel completely and totally safe within your nervous system. This is going to be a very stable, loving, loyal, equally yoked future spouse or future long-term partner. And with that, because it's going to allow you to embody a part of yourself you've wanted to embody for so long, you are probably going to have to wrestle with the devil a little bit, because a lot of the times for people who have had very difficult romantic experiences who finally get to step out of that, we find that where our partners used to be the toxic ones, we have picked up bad habits that we didn't even know about, and then we become the toxic ones. But the other thing that Spirit is saying to me with this Devil card is that this is the 10% that Spirit is talking about integrating. It's about integrating your shadow side, becoming balanced in your light and shadow in order to embody the Empress energies and to be the most nurturing and loving version of yourself as a partner. And of course, that integration is what allows for all of this to come in for you, which we know, right? Pile 1, we said that already. So Spirit is talking about integrating that last 10% of the shadow in order to call in that future spouse and long-term partner. Another one of these habits that could be indicative of your shadow side is maybe because you're someone who is a breadwinner or used to getting everything that you want and providing for yourself, you don't take the time off to rest. You're constantly in that Empress energy of creation, being this high-powered version of yourself at all times. And so it might be difficult for you to take a step back and rest and let someone take care of you while still managing to embody that Empress energy. Because the reality is, yes, the Queen, I'm just using the Queen not for gender purposes, but just for the metaphor. Yes, the Queen is in charge of running the entire kingdom, which we saw with the Queen of Pentacles and the Queen of Swords. But also a queen is meant to be served. A queen is meant to be catered to. A queen is meant to live a lavish life that is easeful, that is effortless. So it might be a difficult task for you to, let go of the reins on some things. and just pull back and allow yourself to have a partner that meets your needs and doesn't make you suffer. But eventually you'll get it. Spirit also told me to say, you might be someone, if you are someone who identifies as female, who's been providing for yourself for a while, got out of toxic relationships and things like that. Spirit called me to say, you can let loose of the reins of many things, but really strongly consider whether you will let loose of all of your financial security, because a part of using that discernment and being more perceptive and analytical as you parse through these last couple of energies and connections that are vying for your attention, don't be so quick to give up your financial accessibility. I'm being a little bit coy with my words. I'm just going to talk straight to you, Pal One. In many toxic relationships or DV relationships, during the love bombing phase of a relationship, slowly but surely, love bombing can last more than 3 months. It can last years. Slowly but surely, the other partner will convince one partner of how safe they are, and then tell them, we should join our bank accounts and you shouldn't have your own private bank account. Let me take care of you. Let me provide for you. And then they feel so safe that they give up their financial stability, not necessarily their money, but their own separate money in private bank accounts. And then slowly but surely, as the relationship gets bad and gets worse, they no longer have money that allows them to get out. They don't have any financial stability, and then financial abuse comes into play. So obviously, Spirit isn't saying that's what's going to happen to you. That message won't resonate with all of you, but Spirit did say, if you are someone who's listening to this reading and you're wrestling with the idea, now that you think you found your future spouse and long-term partner, if you're wrestling with the idea of just having a joint bank account and getting rid of your own personal bank account, if that's the sign you need it, Spirit is saying, keep your personal bank account, keep some money on the side just in case, just to make sure you feel truly secure within the relationship, because it's not a sign of insecurity within your relationship that you keep some money on the side just in case, to make sure you're financially stable and have your own pocket money. And anyone who is working super hard to convince you otherwise is someone that you should be a little bit more discerning of and watch them. Okay, so let's get some oracle cards for you, Pal One. That is your reading on have you already met your future spouse. Now we're just going to take some oracle cards on Spirit's advice and guidance for you. Advice and guidance for Pal One. Advice and guidance for Pal One. Not going to take these, Spirit. Advice and guidance for Pal One, please, Spirit. Advice and guidance for Pal One, please, Spirit. Power. Power is not always corrupt. Power is not always about domination or brute force ruling over those with less. Power can be soft. Power can be loving. Power can be healing. Power can be subtle and invisible, like wind sculpting canyons into beautiful patterns or seeds bursting open to take root in the darkness of fertile soil. Power is influence and impact, uplifting those with less and empowering the powerless. Are you wielding your power to its full potential? So Spirit is very clear with that message, because in the reading, the only cards that were indicative of power were those queen cards, which we took as representing you. So Spirit is saying, no, you haven't already met your future spouse or long-term partner, but they are incoming, and Spirit already told you you'll be needing to exercise discernment to parse through the real and the fake. And so another message that Spirit is saying is, don't give up your power during this process. If you're looking for your future spouse and long-term partner, this is someone who came in to aid in your life, to improve your life. And someone who is here to improve and make your life better genuinely is not someone that's going to ask you to step down or step outside of yourself or shrink and make yourself smaller for them. Even if they're coming in and making your life easier, even if, even if they never let you fill up your gas tank, they're not doing that to make you feel smaller. They're doing that to make you feel cared for. So learn to discern the difference between someone trying to take your power away and shrink you and make you feel smaller versus someone who's trying to add to your life and create an environment where you feel a sense of ease and a feeling of being valued and cared for. Let's get a few more cards, pile one. Advice and guidance for pile one, please, Spirit. Advice and guidance for pile one. Messages for pile one, please, Spirit. Thank you, Spirit. Earth Song. Close your eyes and listen to the earth song within you and all around you today. Bird Song. The beating of your heart, the wind rustling through the leaves. Sometimes it is subtle, the vibrancy of plants in your home, the stillness of mountains in the distance, the shedding of snakeskin. We come from the earth and return to the earth, again and again. We are all inseparable in this moving tapestry of aliveness. Do what you can to protect the earth song, to keep it alive and continue its melody for generations to come. I got a couple messages with this card. First off, your Spirit is giving some advice on how to discern who is your long-term partner / future spouse. And they're saying this person is going to make you feel grounded. When you really go inside yourself and you have to discern between all of your offers, this is the person that's going to make you feel the most grounded. And also they're going to make you feel the most secure because they're a very loyal energy. They're not going to create seeds of doubt within you. They're not going to break their promises. They're going to do what they say and say what they mean very early on because they're trying to let you know who they really are in essence. And also Spirit is encouraging you to tap in with the earth and specifically to tap in with your own energy so that you're better able to discern these things. Literally Spirit just said, go touch grass. Like mamas, if you're always on that, just like the parents say, because you always on that goddamn phone. If you're always on that goddamn phone or you're an Instagram baddie or find shit on Instagram or something, unplug a little bit. Take some distance. Go read a book in a cafe or something, okay? Live a quiet life. Soften life through nature and things like that. And take care of nature because it will take care of you. I'm getting the message that someone like talks to plants, or maybe you don't talk to plants yet, but if you've been debating getting a house plant, taking care of the earth in some way, get that house plant because one of your spiritual gifts might be an ability to communicate with plants and interact with plants in ways that not all of us are capable of. Dang, that was a little bonus, Spirit. Okay, some of you guys have intuitive gifts. Love that for you. One more card, please, Spirit. Advice and guidance for pile one. Okay, here, damn. That's what Spirit said. I am a vast experience. You are far more strange, mysterious, and infinite than what meets the eye. You are the cumulative, energetic, cosmic collage of all that has come before you, including the ocean and the moon and prehistoric trees and the vast swirl of distant stars far, far away. How can you possibly fit neatly into strictly defined, notice how I said divined on accident? strictly defined categories and boxes created by unimaginative and constrictive minds. You are an always evolving, dynamic, and singular being. You don't need to explain or justify yourself. Not everyone has to understand or get you. Simply be. So that's a double-edged like whammy. First, they're giving more advice on discerning who is the one. Understand that this person will understand you inherently. It's not like you have to prove or justify or explain who you are. The person who's meant to stand beside you, to stand shoulder to shoulder with you for a lifetime, they get it. And then the other thing is Spirit is giving you permission to evolve, because guess what? You are the product of evolution. You will always be evolving, growing, and changing. And again, this is an advice on how to discern your future spouse and long-term partner, because that person will understand that you're both ever evolving and focus on growing together rather than finding a way to grow apart. Pile 1. That has been your reading on Have You Already Met Your Future Spouse and Long-Term Partner. I hope it resonated for you, and I hope to read for you another time sometime soon. Have a great day. Pile 2, if you chose the Empress or the card in the thumbnail with the orange border, this is your reading on Have You Already Met Your Future Spouse or Long-Term Partner. Let's get into it. Spirit, has Pile 2 met their future spouse or long-term partner? Where they at? Where they at? Has Pile 2 met their long-term partner or future spouse? 9 of Wands. Okay, already Pile 2. Now, I could be wrong. Let's see the rest of the cards, but Spirit told me with that card already the answer is no. And you're starting to become hopeless about whether you will find this person. And Spirit is saying, don't give up. They're out there. It literally says on the card, stay determined and move forward. Be prepared for any possibility in environmental activism. Has Pile 2 already met their future spouse? Oh, Pile 2, I'm going to pray for you and I feel for you. It's the Knight of Pentacles. So again, the answer off top is no. You have not met your future spouse or long-term partner. And baby, they sure are taking their sweet time, aren't they? Hurry the... I'm sorry. Calm it down. Calm it down. It feels like they're taking forever, doesn't it, Pile 2? It feels like you've been waiting a long time for them to show up. Where are they? I'm hearing Charlotte from Sex and the City saying, I've been, looking for my husband since I was 15. Where the hell is he? And look, that's not to say that you're a woman or you identify as a woman. That wasn't meant to be gendered or anything like that. It just seems like you've been waiting for your future partner or spouse to show up, and where the hell are they? But if you watch Sex and the City, spoiler, if you watch Sex and the City, you know Charlotte did eventually find her future spouse after she divorced who she thought was the one, and it literally was so unexpected. It says, be prepared for any possibility. He was the kind of person she never imagined that she'd end up with, and he is the person who made her the happiest in her entire life. So don't be afraid to let the universe surprise and delight you. In fact, based off of these 2 cards alone, I'm feeling like you ain't got no choice. Okay? For Pile 2, we already know they haven't met their future spouse, but, tell us more, Spirit. What's going on with Pile 2? Have they already met the one? There's a secondary message here for those of you who are in a long-term connection already and wondering if they're your future spouse. It's also saying, like, don't listen to the outside voices. If people are telling you, like, oh, it's been 10 years, I don't think he'll marry you, or you see stuff on the internet, right? Which is like, if he doesn't marry you, if they don't marry you in 3 years, if he doesn't propose in X, Y, and Z, he don't want to be with you. They usually spread this rhetoric to women, obviously, to create societal pressure. And they usually like say this: a man knows who he wants to be with in the first 3 months of meeting her. They know, da 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 da, so on and so forth. Spirit is saying, if you've been subject to any of that, whether you're a man, woman, they, them, or not, don't give that credence, because I am actually seeing, if that's you, it looks like your partner is taking the slow path, the slowest path. But there is genuine potential for this to be your future spouse. And so you need to focus on your timing together as a couple rather than the timing that the world says that you should be on. And again, Spirit is showing me Harry and Charlotte from Sex and the City, because Charlotte got real frustrated that she gave Harry an ultimatum to propose to her, and then they had to break up. But during the short time that they were broken up, he realized he wanted to marry her. So maybe that's a message for somebody out there who's been waiting a long time for that rock, okay? For pile one. Oh, ooh, maybe there's a message for you in pile one, pile two. For pile two, please, Spirit, messages for pile two. Where's their future spouse? Have they already met their future spouse? Yeah. I'm now getting that the reading has shifted to those of you who are already in a long-term connection. It is saying you do know your future spouse. Some of you know your future spouse, or they're going to be someone that you do know if you haven't already met them yet. There's both in this pile. Some of you are already connected with your future spouse and have just been waiting a long time to get married. Some of you have just been patiently waiting, and you're losing a little bit of hope. And Spirit is saying, like, when that person does come in, they're going to be someone who feels deeply familiar, because they're either a past life connection or they're actually someone you knew in the past in this reality. For pile two, please, Spirit. Pile two, messages for pile two. Have they already met their their future spouse, their future long-term partner? Dang, they're just flying out for you. Pile two. You've suffered, baby. You've suffered. We have strength. Spirit is saying, hold it together. Keep it together. Come on. You're almost there. Have some strength. Have some resilience. Pile two. This is for the real yearners, pile two. Okay? You've been waiting, friend. I know you've been waiting. Oh my goodness. I don't even want to do no more research on that one, okay? I'm sorry. I don't mean to laugh. It feels a little bit insufferable to wait. And I don't even think I said anything about that Page of Cups. I don't even think I called that out. Spirit is saying that there have been a lot of small offers if you're together with your future partner, but it just hasn't been what you wanted, which is the rock. You know, you two are probably very much in love, and you're just so eager to get married. And for some reason, whether it be financial reasons or other real world circumstances, you just haven't gotten engaged yet. But again, Spirit is saying focus on your timeline as a couple between you guys, and not the timeline of what the world says you should be on. Six of Pentacles. Okay, there's a lot of mention of reciprocity within this deck, and also genuine love, because six is the Lover's card, and it is the card in numerology tied to real romantic love, and we already have 2 6s. Excuse me. Spirit is saying that when it's time for you to meet your future spouse, if you're a part of that group that hasn't met them, or when it's time for you to get engaged and for, this long-term partnership to evolve into marriage and get engaged, it's going to be something that is filled with reciprocity and equally balanced. So you don't need to worry about it. Spirit is saying this is what you're working towards. You're working towards something that is equally yoked, fully reciprocal, something that feels meaningful to you now and honors the past versions of you and even the inner child versions of you. And the reason they're telling you to be patient or to go slow and stay determined is because they don't want you to punk yourself out of getting all that you deserve and love. For pile 2, please, Spirit. Pile 2. Let's take the last 2 cards for pile 2. 7 of Pentacles. Yeah. Oh, my goodness. Oh, my God. Pile 2. This is the card of investments. Okay. This one's really moving slowly. And then we have the Knight of Wands. So there's hope for you yet. Eventually, this will speed up and pick up. This investment is going to reap rewards for you. This obviously is going to turn into your future spouse or long-term partner, especially if you're someone who's been together with someone for years and years and have just been waiting on engagement. We also see the Sun as the bottom of the deck. So this is more of a confirmation reading for both groups more than anything. I'm talking a little too fast for myself because the messages are coming through too quickly. For those of you who don't have a partner already, and so you haven't already met your future spouse, it is coming. It is on the way for you. It is just coming quite slowly, but Spirit is confirming for you not to give up, not to lose hope in love, because when it does come to fruition in your life, it is going to be something that illuminates your entire life and is really one of the most meaningful connections for you. And Spirit isn't saying that in a lighthearted way. They're saying that in a very visceral, grounded way. I'm even getting Spirit saying like, Simba, everything the light touches is yours. Spirit is saying like this is going to be a genuinely reciprocal and balanced connection, which is going to bear so much fruit in your life. And not all people who have long-term partners or future spouses are fortunate enough to say that their connections actually allow them to harvest many seeds that they've sown or to sow seeds together. And a lot of the times it's because those people rushed into connections or they left something behind that they felt wasn't moving at the right pace. They let the pressures of societal expectations get to them and they punked themselves out of their own future. Spirit is advising you not to do that because it is going to be more than worth it. Spirit is saying that we know you're really investing in the right connections here, and we're going to match you with that tenfold. It's almost like Spirit is saying that they have like a matching escrow account with you. Everything that you sow into finding this equally yoked, balanced connection, this true, genuine connection, we're going to give it back to you tenfold as long as you stay determined, don't lose hope, stick with it. And don't settle for just a small love offer and don't give up on what you want, because as soon as you not deny, because for some of you who are already in a long-term relationship waiting for that to evolve into marriage, or longer term commitment, like maybe moving in together. It's not denying, but they're saying not to settle. Once you choose not to settle, you get this long-term investment that's very meaningful for you, and it comes in quickly. So all of this is erroneous and takes so much time and takes so much patience. I mean, we got some of the slowest cards. I think we have all of the slowest cards in the deck here. Nine of Wands, Knight of Pentacles is the slowest card in the deck. Strength implies some pretty slow things, and the Seven of Pentacles, having to invest in something, it can take time for investments to reap the dividends. But Spirit is also adding another layer to this. They're letting you know that the speed of this, if you perceive this happening slowly, it could just be because you're not being patient enough, babes. And there's a secondary message here of patience. You got to slow this motherfucker down. I almost spilled my yak on this $200 suit, okay? They're saying slow down. You're hitting them corners too goddamn fast. Slow down, take it easy, enjoy life, enjoy the journey, because it's all going to work out. And I think this is to sort of talk someone off of the ledge of just like giving up on love. They're not saying to give up on love. Let's get some more tarot cards for you, Pile 2, and see what else unfolds in this story, because, you know, I'm rooting for you, Pile 2. I felt how slow it was, okay? This is one of the things that annoys me about Spirit sometimes. They're saying, oh, you need to have patience, but they're showing all the slow cards. Is it going to speed up? But we know it is going to speed up. But I understand your frustration. Messages for Pile 2. Have they already met their future spouse, the one, or their long-term partner? Messages for Pile 2, please, Spirit. Messages for Pile 2, please. Thank you, Spirit. Three of Pentacles. Messages for Pile 2. Have they already met their future spouse, the one, long-term partner? Four of Pentacles. For Pile 2. Pile 2, please, Spirit. Messages for Pile 2. I'm getting that. Spirit wants that whoa. Oh my goodness, it felt like my brain just jammed there. Spirit wanted this one reversed, the Queen of Cups reversed. So we're going to take that reversed. Clarify the Three of Pentacles, please, Spirit. Messages for Pile 2. Have they already met their future spouse? We have the High Priestess and we have the Ten of Swords upright. Clarify the Four of Pentacles, please, Spirit. Clarify the Four of Pentacles. Okay, we can't take two cards for everything now, Spirit. Nine of Pentacles and the Queen of Wands. Okay, I was already sort of getting an impression of that. So Spirit is saying, I'm going to use some gendered language here, but again, don't take it gendered. This is just my kind of slang and my vibe. Spirit is saying, don't be so eager to be a lover girl right now, okay? Don't be so eager to just like attach to someone and find someone and get into that long-term relationship in future spouse type bag. Spirit is saying, explore, be single, steep in your own attractive energy, because you have a very magnetic and attractive energy. When I see the Nine of Pentacles, that's a card of independence. And the Queen of Wands is one of the most attractive cards in the deck. So they're saying you're in a very attractive and magnetic, independent time in your life, and you're looking at that with a sort of like stinginess or a lack mindset. But they're saying it's okay to not want to couple up immediately. It's okay to be stingy with that energy, in the sense that you shouldn't be so readily wanting to just give up all of that freedom and all of this attractive energy. I was getting that this might be a younger crowd, or at least half of the group might be a much younger crowd. than some of those listening to my other readings in the earlier half of the spread. And this makes me feel the same. It's like, I can literally hear spirit saying like, babe, like you're in your 20s, go and explore the world, be free. When I see this 9 of Pentacles, oh, I lost a light. When I see this 9 of Pentacles card, it makes me think a lot of Lady Godiva. I don't know if you know the story of Lady Godiva, but apparently she was a woman that like rode into town on a horse fully naked. This one is obviously clothed, but spirit is saying like, you have all this wonderful, attractive energy. Like, don't be so quick to give it up. And spirit is saying, yes, collaboration in your work environment and collaboration in general is possible, but use your intuition and I'm going too fast again. Exercise discernment, use your intuition, and understand that, again, you shouldn't be so ready to just 10 of Swords this and get rid of this phase in your life. You still have some independent years and some youthful years. And the thing to note is I'm specifically getting like a message that you should be traveling and exploring the world. The thing is, if you're someone, for instance, from a small town in your home country or something where everyone gets married like after they're 17 or 18 and they all couple up and then they have babies and stuff, you might feel a lot of pressure to do that. But spirit is saying there's so much of the world for you to see. And when we explore the world and we explore other cultures, that's how we learn and explore more about ourselves. So spirit is saying to go outside and collaborate with others in environments you've never explored, because they want you to learn new facets about yourself. That goes for those of you who are also coupled up already, waiting to get engaged. They are saying there's still more facets of you that you have left to uncover. There's still some stones that are unturned that you need to turn over. And then this will all come in due time. Spirit is saying it's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. So have you already met your future spouse? For some of you, the answer is no. For some of you, you're currently dating your future spouse. You've been dating them for a long time, waiting to get engaged. Spirit is saying there's still more of yourself to explore before you go and attach yourself to someone for the rest of your life. And clarify the Queen of Cups reversed. Clarify the Queen of Cups reversed. Thank you, Spirit. Dang, we got 2 each. We have the 9 of Cups upright and the 7 of Wands upright. So we have wish fulfillment and conflict. I think the message with the Queen of Cups reversed, especially if you're someone who is already like with the long-term partner about to give the ultimatum, is Spirit is literally saying you're trying to get your wish fulfillment by creating conflict. And for those of you who haven't met your future spouse yet, and are sort of giving up on hope, the message is actually the same. You're trying to achieve wish fulfillment by creating conflict, either with your future partner who loves you, which is not going to serve the purpose of getting you what you want, and it's just going to create a rift. And then for those of you who are single and haven't yet met your future spouse, where patience is also a big part of this journey, Spirit is saying you're creating conflict with yourself, which neither of these conflicts are going to lead to your ultimate wish fulfillment. So Spirit is saying take a step back, stop, and look at this for the opportunity that it is for you to get to know your future partner more and to get to know yourself more and to be free for a little bit longer before you just go and, become a wife or a husband, before you slap a new label onto yourself. Because believe it or not, if you're under pressure, if you're feeling under pressure due to people's societal expectations now, if you're feeling pressured to be married now, what do you think society is going to do when you get the ring, when you are married, when you are somebody's husband? Then the next pressure is, when are you going to have babies? And the next thing you know, you're in the rat race. All of a sudden, you've become a part of this system in this machine that you didn't even know you were freed of. The whole time you were just trying to get yourself involved in someone else's dream instead of focusing on the timing that aligns with you and yourself, or you and your future partner, or you and the person you're already dating, so that you can create a world and a reality that suits your life rather than others. So Spirit is saying divest from other people's expectations and other people's timelines and focus on what's fulfilling to you. Let's take some oracle cards and advice for you, Pile 2. Let's take some oracle and advice for Pile 2. Spirit, advice and guidance for Pile 2 on have they already met their future spouse and long-term partner. Advice and guidance for Pile 2. Advice and guidance for Pile 2, please, Spirit. Thank you, Spirit. Playful child. What does your child self need in order to feel playful? Here are some ideas. A sense of safety, permission, enthusiasm, time, space, encouragement, attention, acceptance, and love. Let your child self know that it is okay to be playful and to run wild and free. Let their imagination roam uninhibited. Let them see fun and games and opportunity for play in everything, even in the most mundane situations. It is essential to not take life so seriously. Right this moment, what does your playful child self desire from you? So that's confirmation, Pile 2. And the line that sticks out the most for me is, it is essential to not take life so seriously. That is speaking back to exactly what I said, which is you're itching to compete in someone's game that's not going to serve you, right? You might be pressuring or creating conflict with your partner or within yourself to go and get married, and you're not, once you start to do that, you're no longer aligned with your own timing and divine timing, but you're trying to match the timing of other people's reality. And as soon as you get into that mental framework, you take yourself, you take your partner, you take your higher self. Well, you can never take your higher self out of this, but you take yourself out of the framework of play, and all of a sudden you're in this framework that's filled with pressure in meeting other people's expectations and not being yourself. So Spirit is saying the antidote to that is to have fun, to explore, to learn the different facets of yourself. And I don't know if you noticed in the Page of Cups card that we had here earlier, but there's a little sandcastle in the background, which goes to show you that woman who was sitting on the beach staring at us in the card was building a sandcastle just a few minutes earlier while she's over there acting all serious. Let's take a few more cards. Advice and guidance for Pile 2, please, Spirit. Advice and guidance for Pile 2. Messages for Pile 2, please, Spirit. Messages for Pile 2, please. Messages for Pile 2, please, Spirit. My. Advice and guidance for Pile 2, please, Spirit. Messages for Pile 2. Thank you, Spirit. Molt. It is time to shed the constriction costume you have been wearing and let your weirdest, freakiest, uncensored self out into the open. What old identities no longer make sense for you to squeeze into? What makes sense? What can be shed like an ill-fitting skin for you to move through the world more freely as your true magnificent self? It is okay if the molting process feels ugly, messy, or downright uncomfortable and scary. Embrace the process and be ready to experience the pleasure of no longer hiding. Let your real self be seen by the world. So The message there is quite obvious. Again, that's a confirmation of what I said, which is there are still more facets of yourself that Spirit would like you to uncover. And that is why this is such a long, slow process that requires patience. Now, there's a secondary message that's not going to resonate with all of you, but it is going to resonate for some or even just one of you. I'm getting from that message that someone may be Mormon or coming from a very closed religion. And when I say Mormon, I'm specifically talking about someone who is a deconstructed Mormon, or maybe you come from Utah, or maybe you come from a fundamentalist Christian background. Maybe you're a former Amish. Spirit said Mormon, but maybe it's one of those backgrounds. And because of your deconstructed faith, you're still deconstructing it, and you still sort of carry some of those expectations of yourself. For instance, like being married at a younger age. And that's not to say those things are wrong or right. I'm not trying to single any community or religion out. That's just what Spirit told me. This is exactly what Spirit meant when they said there's still parts of yourself that are left to be uncovered. This is what Spirit wanted you to know. It's like you're still kind of looking at your life through these frameworks as you deconstruct it. You're still measuring yourself by some of those frameworks that don't fit you anymore. So Spirit is asking you to instead focus on your transformation and focus on your deconstruction and your molting, and allow your journey to unfold, because all of this will happen in due time. You will meet your future spouse and your long-term partner. But right now, you don't even know if that aligns with you. If you genuinely even want a long-term partner or future spouse, you might just be having that in your heart right now because it's still something you're carrying from an old constricting environment. Let's get one more card for you, pile 2. For pile 2, one more card for pile 2, please, Spirit. Advice and guidance for pile 2. Thank you, Spirit. Receive. Receive. Are you fully receiving what is already yours? Receiving can feel vulnerable, especially if you have learned to be a people pleaser as a survival strategy and think little of your own needs. Step back from anticipating others' needs and simply slow down. Receive. Imagine you are opening your heart to the sky and a rainfall of blessings is cascading down upon you. Revel in the pleasure of receiving, relishing, savoring, enjoying. Receiving is not selfish at all. It is actually more selfish to refuse the gifts that are already around you and for you. So this is speaking again to that 9 of Pentacles energy of there being more to your self-discovery that Spirit wants you to learn about right now. Spirit is saying whether you're already in a long-term relationship, Spirit wants you to receive the love as it stands now without any expectation, or whether you're single and just about to give up hope on finding your person, Spirit wants you to reframe your desires and focus on receiving the love and the abundance in the world around you by exploring it more. Pile 2, that is your reading on have you already met your future spouse or long-term partner. I hope it resonated for you. It was such a pleasure to read for you, and have an amazing day. Pile 3, if you chose the card with the purple border around it in the thumbnail or the 2 of Swords, this is your reading. Let's get into it. And sorry, by the way, it looks like one of my lights died in the middle of the reading. So if you can't see the cards, I'm going to make sure to show them up on the screen one by one. That way you get to see every card. For pile 3, has pile 3, my goodness, I'm not going to take those just yet, Spirit. Let me get the question out. Thank you. Thank you. For pile 3, have they already met their future spouse or long-term partner, Spirit? Has pile 3 already met their future spouse or long-term partner? There we go. Thank you, Spirit. We have the Tower. It says, change your life. A sudden revelation that offers freedom. Break free of procrastination. Embrace the opportunities that change brings. For pile 3, have they already met their future spouse? Oh, the Moon. It's hidden. Interesting. For pile 3, have they already met their future spouse? Has pile 3 already met their future spouse or long-term partner? King of Swords. All right, pile 3, first impressions. You seem somewhat resistant to having met your future spouse or long-term partner. It says 9 of Cups, specifically resistant to the journey or what that looks like if the journey to meeting your future spouse or long-term partner is not what you had in mind. 7 of Cups. They're just coming out like butter for you. Death. For pile 3, has pile 3 already met their future spouse? Page of Cups. And Justice. We have a lot of major arcana for you, pile 3. A lot of big energy influencing this question. Let's go ahead and see what the bottom of the deck is. Oh. For pile 3, the bottom of the deck is the 7 of Swords. It says, there is a better course of action available to you. Working alone may not be the best answer. Review all the details. So that 7 of Swords at the bottom, did I say 7 of Cups earlier? I hope I didn't. That 7 of Swords at the bottom of the deck really confirms that first impression that I got, because I saw the King of Swords, holding his arms together, and he just seemed so standoffish, and that's telling me there's some resistance. So pile 3, I'm getting that you haven't already met your future spouse or long-term. Hold on. Oh, okay. So Spirit is already telling me the message here, pile 3, is that you have not already met your future spouse or long-term partner. And the reason for this is because you're resisting the journey that's going to transform you. You're resisting the journey that's going to transform you and allow for your wish fulfillment to come in. So we have the Tower card, and then we have the Moon card, and then we have the King of Swords. This is someone who's logically minded, very rational. It says ambitious and respected, but he's sort of standoffish. And so I see that the Tower is attempting to fall in your life, but you're being resistant to it. Interesting, pile 3. I'm even getting a little resistance of my own. It feels like so much is like trying to get in the way of me reading for you. So the Moon is saying your future spouse or long-term partner is being hidden from you right now. We literally see the Moon and the Death card in the middle. That's because Spirit is saying this Page of Cups and this Justice can't come in until you do justice to yourself and you honor what is not working. Maybe you're in a relationship that isn't working. Maybe you're keeping yourself in an environment or a family structure or some sort of system that you know foundationally is not in alignment with you. And so until you can acknowledge that Tower falling, until you can acknowledge the limiting self-beliefs and the negative sort of mindsets that this brings out of you and how this situation that you're in shifts your energy to extreme divine masculine energy where there's no balance of the feminine coming in, until you can acknowledge that, then you won't meet your future spouse or your long-term partner. We see that you have this desire for wish fulfillment, but there's also some sort of chaos because your desires are all over the place with the 7 of Cups. Spirit is saying you need to honor that that a foundation is being leveled for your highest good in your life, and you need to choose a direction after that. Don't just sit in the rubble, and don't pretend that the tower is still there when they've worked so hard to tear it down for you. True love can come in. It will come in as a small, tiny offering to start. And that offering is being represented to me by Spirit as a mustard seed, because this mustard seed will grow. Your faith will evolve, and it will eventually bring justice to you. But you have a lot of work to do before it can turn into that. And the first crumb of work that you need to do is deal with that Seven of Swords that we saw at the bottom of the deck. Because Spirit is saying you can't keep avoiding it. You can't keep running away from it. This tower has fallen. You will acknowledge it. We will keep you in this fallen tower until you acknowledge it. There's no more denial to be had. This is what's so. This is your reality. So maybe you're avoiding shadow work. Maybe you're denying a breakdown in a connection or a family structure, or a change in career, or a change in financial situation. But Spirit is saying they're going to keep you in that energy until you acknowledge that this is no longer in alignment for you. So that's a pretty cut and dry interpretation. I'm going to take a few more tarot cards for you, Pile 3. That way we can get a little bit more to the story here. Messages for Pile 3. Have they already met their future spouse? Have they met their long-term partner? And have they met the one? Messages for Pile 3. We have the Wheel. Okay, fate is turning. My goodness, I will take both of those. And then we have the Ace of Wands and the Lovers. Okay, whoever future spouse is, woo, they're good in bed. Okay, clarify. No, not clarify. Messages for Pile 3, please, Spirit. Messages for Pile 3. But this is also a message about choosing what you value. We have the Four of Pentacles, because when I see the Ace of Wands coming out with the Lovers, the traditional perspective of the Lovers card is actually not just a romantic partnership, but it's about the choices that we make and align ourselves with. So Spirit could also be asking you, as fate turns, they're saying a new lover is coming in, but will you value genuine love and affection, or are you going to continue to be someone who just values what's between their legs in the more surface level forms of gratification and passion? Because you can have both. Clarify the Wheel, please, Spirit, for Pile 3. Have they already met their future spouse? Clarify the Wheel, please, Spirit. For Pile 3, please clarify the Wheel. Oops, I'm not taking 5 cards, Spirit. Come on. For Pile 3, messages for Pile 3, clarify the Wheel. Thank you, Spirit. We have the King of Swords again. So fate is turning with regards to your divine masculine energy and how you wield that. Clarify the Ace of Wands and the Lovers combined, please, Spirit. Clarify the Ace of Wands and the Lovers combined. Woo, thank you, High Priestess. So this is about using your intuition. So what I'm getting as well for you, Pile 3, is it looks like fate is bringing in 2 opportunities for you with regards to your future spouse or long-term partner. And they're asking you to discern that connection. They're asking you to discern between what is real and soul-deepening, true, aligned love, and what is just genitalia, essentially, what is just passion with no substance. That's why we have the King of Swords energy here, because they do want you to use the discernment that you've garnered with this divine masculine energy. They want you to pair that with your divine feminine energy, which is being represented in this High Priestess. Marry your logic and your intuition to discern which one of these partners coming in is truly your soul defining love and which is just a passionate, fleeting connection. Clarify the Four of Pentacles, please, Spirit. We have the Three of Swords. Spirit they're not saying that choosing wrong is going to lead to heartbreak, but they are sort of saying that the Four of Pentacles is about someone who's hoarding material abundance and someone who's being sort of stingy with their energy. They're saying this lack of generosity is going to lead to some sort of heartbreak. Let's clarify the Four of Pentacles a little bit just to know exactly what they're talking about. Okay, so oh, I see what this means. This is sort of referencing the Tower again. We have the Ten of Swords as the clarifying card. Spirit is referencing your heartbreak to something in the past. Perhaps it was a career change or something with regards to relationships that impacted your material stability, or the fact that you're hoarding things from the past with regards to your material stability. So maybe you broke up with someone, got kicked out of the house or apartment, and you're still holding on to their things. Spirit is saying, let go, let those things from the past that you're holding on to, let them go. The only way to have a clean break and move forward into a line with your future spouse or long-term partner is to fully release the past. Maybe you're holding on to an ex's things because they bring you comfort and you hope that they come back. Spirit is saying it's done. And the fact that I see this Three of Swords and this Ten of Swords together, that tells me that that's the Tower that you're resisting, which is holding back your potential to actually align with your true future spouse or your true long-term partner or the true one. You're still stuck on love or what you thought was love with a former partner, and Spirit is saying, we showed you the truth of this connection. We showed you their true colors. We showed you this connection cannot move forward. You need to let go so that the wheel can turn, so that we can actually align you with the options that are going to be fruitful and eventually turn into this future spouse or long-term partner. So if you were wondering or looking for a sign of if that person from the past is the one, Spirit is saying they're not, and this is your confirmation that you need to let go. Let's take some oracle cards for you, Pile 3, because, you know, letting go is hard. I definitely know that. I'm having my own experience with needing to let go, and I can't blame you for how challenging it is. Messages, advice and guidance for Pile 3 on their future spouse and long-term partner. Can't do all of that, Spirit. Okay, I'm taking the Rage one because it really stuck out to me. I'll take all three of these, Spirit. I think Spirit wanted me to take all three of those because what are the chances 3 would come out straight like that? So we'll start with Rage. Rage is your body's way of letting you know that a boundary has been crossed in some situations. Rage is the most appropriate response and needed as a powerful creative force to burn down what is broken and unjust in order to create space from the ashes of its destruction for something new to grow in its place. The soil that emerges in the aftermath of a volcanic eruption is rich with nutrients to support new growth. Your rage can be your greatest teacher, your protector, your truth teller, your best advocate and friend. What is your rage telling you? So with that card, automatically, Spirit is telling you, they're giving you advice on how to move forward. Spirit is saying, if you can't get sad, if you can't bring yourself to grieve this tower that has fallen, then get mad. Getting mad is one of the easiest access points and quickest ways for us as humans to tap into our emotions. It's easy for us to do. And if you are feeling sort of dejected and just like you can't tap in with your disappointment, getting mad is going to be the surface emotion that allows you to reach into those deeper emotions because it's going to bring things to the surface for you. So Spirit is saying, we understand this tower has come as a shock to you. It hurts. Get mad at what you lost. It's okay to be upset about this. It's okay to express your sort of anger because that is what's going to open the door for your healing. So next we have creator. You are the creator of your own existence and the world you desire to live in. You have far more agency than you give yourself credit for. Your creative visions can be translated into 3D reality, profoundly altering the shapes and frequencies of the interconnected web we all share. Changing perceptions, sparking revolutions, planting seeds for new ways of being. Step fully into your power as a creator, a dreamer, a magician, a storyteller, a weaver of worlds. Disrupt old patterns to create new ones. The only permission you need is your own. So maybe you're someone who creates, oh my goodness, I love this message, Spirit. Maybe you're someone who creates like written stories, or you're a writer. That's what I wanted to say. Maybe you're looking for a story to tell. Spirit is saying to start with your own. If you're a writer, specifically, Spirit showed me like the Risa Tisa, why did I get married story. Maybe this tower that fell is something really tragic romantically. Oh my God, I'm channeling too fast. Let me slow down. Maybe it's a story that's really interesting that's going to take the internet by storm, and you just need to write it down and share your story. But also on the other end, Spirit is saying now that you've gotten mad and now that you've gotten some of those emotions that have been stuck and stagnant to well up inside of you, heal those, resolve those within yourself, and use the added space that you have now to create your own reality. Start dreaming up and writing down what you want your dream romantic connection to be, because you're the co-creator of your own reality, and you can manifest anything that you want, including your ideal romantic partnership, and Spirit will meet you halfway for your highest alignment. And now we have our final card, which is power. Power is not always corrupt. Power is not always about domination or brute force ruling over those with less. Power can be soft. Power can be loving. Power can be healing. Power can be subtle and invisible, like wind sculpting canyons into beautiful patterns or seeds bursting open to take root in the darkness of fertile soil. Power is influence and impact, uplifting those with less and empowering the powerless. Are you wielding your power to its full potential? So, Spirit is also encouraging you to heal your divine feminine energy. We saw several expressions of divine masculine energy in this reading, and specifically those expressions of the divine masculine energy sometimes leaned a little bit toxic or just too strong and imbalanced, in the sense that we weren't seeing any sort of divine feminine energy. So Spirit is reminding you that power comes in duality first and foremost, and just dealing in masculine energy, just being forthright and blunt with everyone isn't true power. Sometimes that's just being an asshole. And Spirit encourages you to value the softer sides of yourself as well, and understand one of the best pieces of advice I ever received was, I had a female friend who, when she talked, she always sounded like so sexy, like she had a Jessica Rabbit voice. And I said to her, I said, oh my God, your voice is just like Jessica Rabbit. Why is it just so sexy? Like, is that how you normally talk? Why don't you talk normal? And she said, I'll say it the way she said, have you ever noticed that when you talk in a certain way? No, I can't say exactly what she said, but she said, have you ever noticed that you get more done and people want to do more for you if you're gentler with them, or something like that? She let me know and taught me that the way that you speak and the intonation that you use, especially with certain people, can really drastically transform your life. Embodying that sexy and attractive energy made people just want to give her things and do whatever she wanted. And the only difference between the words she would say and the words that I would say is she simply sounded more attractive to people. And that attractiveness was so alluring that it just made people give into her. Pile 3, that is the end of your reading on Have You Already Met Your Future Spouse? I hope you enjoyed it. I hope it resonated with you, and I hope to be reading for you again soon. That is the end of our reading today on Have You Already Met Your Future Spouse or Long-Term Partner? I hope you enjoyed it and I hope it resonated. Thank you so much for watching. It was such a pleasure to read for you today. If you'd like to join the Cosmo Collective, you can do so by liking, subscribing, commenting, or sharing or hyping this reading. Also, feel free to check out any of the other readings on my channel. There's plenty of content to choose from. Don't forget, we have new fresh tarot insights weekly every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And if no one told you today, or if no one ever told you, I love you to the moon and back. Have a good one. Thanks, guys.